Great. So let's talk a little bit about the bouncing, as we can increase or decrease the amount of bouncings of our scene. Don't worry, meanwhile, that we didn't get the realism yet. We are not working physically in a correct form, but don't worry about it now, okay? We are learning the concepts yet, all right? How to adjust the quality, to improve that, to improve this, okay? Replace one thing with another. So let's focus now on the concepts, and after we can get started, we can, work with the realism, the materials, reflections, to get into the quality that we want. But it's really important to know the concepts, okay? So that we can adapt to this knowledge to any other engine of games, okay? Let's talk about bounces. Bounces is what happens in the real world. For example, if we talk about the sunlight, the bouncing is a natural process that happens with the light when it gets contact with the surface. For example, the light, it comes here, hits here, and goes here to the infinite, okay? If we, for example, have a room, the natural light, let's rotate our light here, and the natural light goes to this direction. In the real world, what happens? Well, it comes here, hits here, and hits here, okay? But as it has a surface, it's gonna be doing this, and that's the bouncing. That's the bounce, okay? So look at this. Let's take, can you realize the shadow behind the piano? The light hits here, and it's generating this light here, and also this shadow. For example, if I go here, Google, global illumination, 3D. Look at this. What is the global illumination of 3D? Well, these bouncings, they are basically here. That's it. Like we can see, let's see another reference, a better one. Okay, that can be this one. What's happening here? Well, we have a light here basically. This wall is red and this wall is blue. You can realize that this area of the sphere, this sphere is white, but you see this red here, okay? And you see blue here, all right? And this sphere is white as well. And you can see it's red here, and the floor is white, and blue here. Why? What's happening here? Well, the GI, the global illumination, is happening, and it's being bounced, okay? Here, and bounced here, like this, you see? And the light is doing this movement until it stops bouncing, okay? Like this, like this, like this, and you see that the sphere is white, so the floor is white. The blue is same thing. The light does these movements, and that's what we call bouncing, all right? The natural behavior of the light, okay? Also for artificial light, all right? Also for colors, everything the real world has this bouncing. All the elements of the nature have this bouncing, okay? Part of this light is observed and part of this light is bounced. It is also related to the type of surface of the object. A glass will have almost no light bounce, depending on the opacity of this glass, depending how translucent is this glass. So it's directly connected to the type of material, type of the surface, and also to the bounce. Inside the 3D is also like that. This has to be our goal and our thoughts, okay? How to play in 3D things physically correct. How to transcribe in digital form what happens in the real world. How to create surfaces that can absorb a little the light and bounce the light. How to create materials that can do this bouncing. How to increase or decrease these bouncings. Okay? Talking specifically about looming, we can increase or decrease the bounces, okay, from the light in the directional light and in the skylight. To do that in the directional light, we're gonna go here, directional light, close to intensity. Here in our case is in 10. We can increase the intensity of the light, the directional light. Look, we can increase the intensity of the indirect light. For example, let's put 10 here. Look at this. It spreads more the light. Let's go to darker areas of our project. For example, let me see this area. We have these artificial lights. I think they're gonna bother us, but here it's closed. Let's concentrate here. Look at this. Let's decrease to 1. 10. You got it? 50. Look at this. We increased and decreased the intensity. We can do that of the indirect light. Obviously, that can be kind of false or realistic, okay? So the challenge is to find the exactly value that is going to be more realistic, like more like the real world. If I increase a lot this value, my scene is gonna be weird. If I decrease a lot this value, my scene is gonna lose a little bit of bouncing, and I have shades really dark in my scene. Let's put, for example, 5. I think it's a good value. Meanwhile, okay, let's try to adjust our skylight. In skylight, we also have indirect light. However, it doesn't affect, different from the direct light, that we can adjust the intensity of the direct light. Basically, we adjusting the intensity of the light. Okay, so the intensity of the sky. Look. Let's go here. By default is 1 for 100, for 50. Okay. 1, 20, 50. 1, 50. It has increased the amount of direct light. You can compensate this, for example, decreasing the exposure of the camera in post-process. Exposure, for example, let's get it to 1. Very, very dark. 5, 8. Look at this. 8 looks nice. Yeah. However, the sky is there is with a different shade. it's more dark. It means that we are starting to lose control. So what can we do? We can get it back to 10 intensity, and slow we can adjust this parameter. 50 is a lot. Let's try 2 and 2 here in the light, indirect light. It's really dark, so yeah, let's put 10. Let's put 5. Look, 5 looks great. Looks cool. Yeah, looks good. Or 3. 3. I think 5 is cool. However, we have that light very strong there. Let's try to decrease the intensity of that. Okay. So with these parameters, we adjusted the intensity of the indirect light. In sky, you're gonna adjust directly the intensity of sky. But remember, it's not that cool to increase this value a lot, because it starts getting fake, because your scene is very illuminated but your sky is very dark. So let's put 2, for example. All right, the directional light as well. The intensity we chose 5, and the intensity of the direct light also 5. Obviously there's a limit between you getting a realistic aspect and to getting to an aspect not that realistic, and that we're gonna be able to identify using references. Okay, that's why we put the references here for you, okay, so that we can use this in the visual form. Try to find the better values, okay, of the bounces and also the photorealistic lighting. Okay, we will be seeing this during the entire course, during the entire process. Meanwhile, let's just learn the concepts. In the next classes, we're gonna work everything of this at the same time: quality, bounce, noises, decreased noise, explosions, and all of this. Okay, we're gonna work all of this at the same time. So first, let's learn the concepts, how to adjust the things, and we're gonna get better, okay, to get our result. So let's finish this class, because next class we're gonna talk about reflections of the type looming. See you.